he dies here, long live the flourish something. I'm remiss of the facts, but that is neither here nor there.
Well, the fact remains just that, yet again, I'm the responsible party for an important death in the city.
Important? Yes, very, very much so. Arguably the most important. A puzzle piece that could quite fit anywhere it desired. But now a new spark walks. One that's allied with me. And in turn, son, is allied with you. Do not fear the beast with lightning blue eyes. He'll make an appearance on this night, but he's going to spend some time away. His intentions are to claim some of the things that were taken from him. His eye, his tooth, and a claw. Then he'll come back, bright, shiny, and new. And then he'll be a terror for the mortal people. Not for the likes of you or I. That was part of the agreement. You should watch Ulhime. More so now than ever. For he is more than just angel-touched. There is a demon that he has let loose, and it started to consume his arm. He made a trade. Very much a goof, if you ask me.
Well, that makes 3 people now making deals with devils to get by.
He didn't exactly make the deal, he just didn't think it through. Who are the other people? Refresh my memory.
It's not like you wouldn't find that eventually anyway.
You're right.
Well, you've got Thelsa, of course. Well, I'm sure you were well aware of her deeds, her contracts.
Actually, I'm not. Enlighten me, son, so I may know how to move this piece.
He'll lean back and glance down to his arm, gesture. All in fair trade?
In fair trade. Would you like to go back to being a butterfly, an insect?
You pulled me back into this form so that I could do your bidding, your dirty work. You've intentions, you've plans that require me.
Oh my god. He immediately snaps his finger, and the arm that's not twisted and maligned immediately mimics and just snaps to your back, breaking in several places. Stop talking. You immediately lose 1/4 of your hit points.
Oh, joy. But yeah, now with 2 broken arms and a gimp walk, he's obviously in very severe pain. He will kind of just hunch over and press his forehead to the tiles underfoot, just to hide his face while he grits his teeth in his agony.
Now, as fun as that was for me, I know that you still have at least 2 limbs. And they can bend the opposite way as well. Now, I didn't intend to punish my boy, but I'm afraid you must remember something. I am no rug. You will answer when I beckon. And if you fail, well, I will beat you. Like the dog that you are. Because I brought you into this world, and I sure as hell can take you out. And I'll make another one if you cannot do as you're told.
Mm. Hmm. It'll take some time for him to get himself in order. But once he's able to catch his breath, he'll just kind of nod against the stone. And he'll just kind of weep against the floor tile. Philistopheles. She made a deal.
That old devil.
Philistopheles.
And what deal? What deal did they make?
Power. Plain and simple power. He brought one from the demon scar and fed it to her.
Who?
I don't remember the name.
Who would have come?
It wasn't a volunteer.
You see him clench his jaw, muscles reflexively, just whipcord several times over all the way up to the eye. You can tell that something's hiding beyond the skin. You've seen him multiple times up to this point erupt from the mouth of whatever body he seems to inhabit. He wears them as a suit.
It gives her enough power to control me, if that helps.
Not while I walk. He rubs his hand together for a moment, and as he seems to draw them apart, you can see this almost line draw from you to him. And it makes this visible arcane lapse. Like this, you can almost see this series of runes appear before you. And it's this loose tether that seems to wave in the wind. But you can see the one between you and him very clearly. It's far more dominant. The chain itself is boisterous. It's large. It's loud. But the one that walks and seems to wave around in the wind around you, he points. And he seems to reach out, placing it between his ring and his middle finger. The hand changes and it takes the shape of the predominant Glibberizu arm. And it snaps, severing that tie. No more. You no longer have to do a damn thing that she says. And if she had any kind of control over you, I have an idea about who she took. Don't say that I ever didn't do anything for you. Now I say this as a concerned father for his son. Ulhime will be the death of you. Take that as you will. It's not as if I have some sort of ulterior motives or agenda. That being said, I feel the magic in you is a little different. But I think it'll come back. Find your friends. They're gonna need you. They're watching eyes outside of Cauldron. You left people alone for too long. They had friends. Gather your arms and armaments. Go on. Stand up.
Rocking forward, he'll grind his forehead harder against the tiles, slipping a leg under himself, and
he leans down,
rocking back
to meet you. And as you are grating against the ground with your forehead, it's like he's encouraging you like a coach. That's right. Push. Push away from the ground, where everyone has kept us for so long. Haul back to your feet, and push your way up. And fight. You're gonna need it. And as you kind of pull your body back, his hands outstretch to your upper arm, just at the shoulder, and it seems to slowly move down the length of your arm, and it's correcting the curvature of your arm. The snaps, the breaks, multiple ways over, seem to correct themselves. And there is a burn, intensely so. But you gain control of your arms again. Before he turns and walks out, he says, "Good boy. Good boy." And he leaves. He frees himself from immediately around you and walks right out.
And even though he's not going to openly admit it, his heart leaps just a little hearing that. And it pisses him off.
I figured. What do you do? Do you gather your things? Do you charge to your allies wherever they may be?
Well, it's not like he's got anything there. You know, he didn't necessarily have a pack. He wore pretty much all of his own gear. So, given everything being...
Time to go elbow deep into the hidey hole. Rummage what gear you can.
Yeah, I mean, he'll take a glance around, see what all is there, see if he can find a weapon of some sort, and probably another hood, but...
You'll find that most of those belongings are down in the quote-unquote basement, where Ulhime has placed many of the magical belongings. Many of the goods that you have found that you just couldn't quite carry. Unless, of course, Klaus has left some things behind. Klaus, did you have any weapons or anything that you may have left behind?
Let me take a look at my sheet real quick, and I can tell you what should be there.
What happened to the shock room?
I feel like that was gone a long time ago.
I may have lost it in the shuffle at some point.
Yeah, the chakram was destroyed, reforged, and destroyed again.
Yeah, like that. I'm trying to remember what we. I think
however,
you gave up on it when you got the staff.
Yeah. However, Alicast is there, so there's an option. I would have had the rings that I would normally wear, which are AC enhancing rings, and then in addition to that, pretty much just a couple potions and some odds and ends, nothing too impressive.
Well, it's more than he's got at the moment. Slipping on the rings and taking up the staff, which, if nothing else, is a really nice stout club.
Do you remember exactly how Alicast looked, Klaus?
Covered in scripture and glowing for the portion of the time that I was holding it.
Was it? I want to say that Alicast was a twisted staff of a silvery wood with dark engravings and what looked like a gnarled twist where the eye would appear.
Yes, that's true. Do you try to pick up the staff immediately? Is that the first thing you go for, or do you go for like the smaller mundane things?
The smaller mundane things, because they're the thing. No, they're not as cumbersome. I mean, it's not like he's going to pick up the staff and then try and finagle a ring or whatnot.
Sure.
But once he has the rings and pack on, he'll kind of try and scoop up Alicast.
When you pick up Alicast, I need a fortitude save.
Oh boy.
Oh, joy.
This can't go bad.
Well, if I used half my senses, I'd realize I'm trying to pick up a fallen angel. This is a fort stave. So let's see. This is supposed to be... This is supposed to be -3, I believe.
Okay, all right.
23.
You can pass this, but you didn't. You can roll high enough, but you didn't in this case. Something happens. Something happens to both you and the staff that immediately blacks you out. You feel like you're beginning to vomit. Your eyes grow heavy. You feel sweat in the palm of your hand. And the last thing you can recall before your vision goes dark is you feel your flesh tearing.
Oh, man. I just got it fixed. Please say I didn't lose an arm.
Hey, Thelsa, do you want to try touching that staff for a bit?
Sure.
Yeah, I should have thought about that. Yeah, let's go ahead and have the half uber evil demon grab the staff, which is actually the remains of an angel.
The embodiment of all that's holy being touched by the literal Dawnbringer. You know, no big deal.
We'll come back to you in a moment.
Yeah, feeling the world spinning, he'll lean over Wretch and just be like, oh, shit, and fall out.
Okay. I didn't actually think that you were going to do that either, so that changes things as well. Good things, actually. Good things for you. And some bad things for you.
But mostly bad.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. We'll make the most of it. So, passing it back to our trio of half demon, half angel, half demon, half woman, and
human
young lad.
Mostly woman.
Do you run? Do the three of you immediately start embarking in the destination of wherever it is that you must go? Or
I'm running where I'm going.
You're running.
I don't know where Cort went, but I just took off running towards.
Upon hearing the immediate vampires are coming. Oh dear God, the vampires are coming. He'd run to the guardhouse.
Okay.
So Cort's now running with me. Thelsa's running to the tome.
All right, we're gonna deal with the tome first, and then we'll give you the guard.
Cool.
Thelsa, you arrive at the Shining Tome. Do you knock and wait? Do you barge in? What does this look like?
I'm a shoulder the door open if I can.
Okay. Give me a strength check. It's actually
17.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, even for you as a caster. That's pretty good. You immediately throw your body into the door itself, and a small board snaps, giving way. You hear it snap on the opposite side, and there's a little bit of a give. You see a gap in between the door being open and the door being closed. Probably about yay so. You hear a noise from inside. What? Who?
Charlie, let me in. It's Thelsa.
You hear some kind of muddling behind the door before eventually it'll lift off, and when the door swings open, he's clutching onto a broken board. It's not as thick as what normally is locking the door, but it was just a temporary thing. You can see it's a little bit smaller, but you're able to get through it. Seeing you, he's not really sure of what to make of the situation. Weren't you just here?
I was. I need to see Sasha.
Again?
Yes, again. It's important this time. More important.
More important. Oh my God. Well, by all means, go right ahead. I will not stop you.
And I'm just gonna run past.
You dart past? Do you push open the curtain and start descending? Do you fly? What does this look like?
I would be running because I can't fly, so I'm just gonna quickly descend the stairs, but not quick enough that I'm putting myself in danger.
Sure. Takes you a while still. Even moving at the fastest you possibly can move, while making sure that you don't plummet down the steps or into the void on either side. After about 4 or 5 minutes of sprinting down the stairs, you reach the bottom. Huffing and puffing, you find yourself standing in front of what looks to be a lake of gold. Coins in all direction.
I'm just gonna step forward to where I had confronted Sasha before. Sasha, there's something important I need your help with.
Do you yell that out?
Yeah, I would be not yelling, but saying it loudly.
When you do, you see an eye open immediately. The orb of which is every bit as large as your torso. It reflects the light from your eyes. It captures the vision of you. You hear a breath. This brusque blow of air that leaves from the nose of a figure that you can't quite see all of, but you assume is significantly larger than you. The eye seems to be growing, well, shrinking, more like. It's changing shape. It looks less like the eye of a feline as it begins to form into a pair of eyes that blink back several times. When before you walks a mostly nude woman. Twice in so many nights. But it's not the boy. Why are you here?
No, he's dead now. Goblins are attacking the city. Several hundred, maybe 1,000. And I'm unable to cast. And you're the only caster I know in town, and I don't know what's wrong with me, but I need help. Whether it's you assisting us in the battle against vampire goblin army that's come upon us, or helping me get back to what I am.
And why would I do that? You think it's in my best interest to help the people of this town?
You operate out of this city.
I do. I don't intend to stop. Do you think the people actually have something to worry about?
I do. I do believe that the 700 to 1,000 to several thousand goblin army out there will overrun the, some hundred guards we have. And despite us being a relatively capable group, Jacob's a butterfly and Klaus is dead.
Well, I knew he was going to die, but he didn't heed my warning.
It didn't surprise me much either.
You said Jakob is a butterfly. Which one is Jakob?
The one that Klaus had made himself look like. The one who was supposed to nap the Torrent's son.
The demon-born, yes.
Yes.
And you want my help. What would you expect me to do?
Assist in the fight, if nothing else.
You wish for me to exit my home where I am comfy to bear fang and claw? Do you expect me to be some kind of creature that I can exit and just blow fire upon them?
Not quite. I figured you've got some kind of power in your current form. Maybe even put on a show and attract more people to your establishment.
Give me a diplomacy. The nat 20, well done. I see what you're playing at. But if I step outside and I show them what I'm capable of, What makes you so sure that they will come here? What makes you think that they can even afford me?
I know that people who are going through great peril will go to many lengths to get what they need, and knowing that you're likely the strongest caster in town is going to make you a prime choice for whatever have their need. Maybe even offering more than just gold and instead favors or what have you.
So because you speak for the people, Ms.
Thelsa.
Thelsa.
Some call me Malice.
Thelsa is such a pretty country name. Thelsa, what will you be offering for my assistance, since you speak for the people of this town?
Frankly, I don't know what I've got that you'd want. I'd offer to sell my soul, but it ain't worth shit to take.
I think I'll take it.
You're not the only one.
Yes, I think I'll take that. You said you couldn't use your power. Your spells, I presume?
Correct.
Well, that's nothing I can do about that. But what I can do is allow you the opportunity to harness what you really are. Would you like that? Because as of right now, I don't think you'll be standing toe-to-toe with anything. I think you're muted.
Anything is more helpful than this body I'm stuck in.
Well, I would be happy to help. But know this. After your change, you will return to being just a woman. There will be nothing special about you any further. There will be no more of these fancy plates, of those golden green eyes, or those horns that decorate your hair. They'll be mine. But you won't die tonight, and that has to be worth something.
I'm not looking to change who I am completely. I'm looking for an edge, and frankly, not dying isn't a very compelling offer. If I wanted to not die, I could just escape.
Then do that. Escape. You've offered me nothing else. At least, nothing that I could immediately want.
What can I offer you that you would want?
Well, I've expressed. I want what you hide within you. I know that you didn't acquire that on your own. While you might be talented with the twirling of oils and the poisoning of men, I am no man, and I will not fall to your oils. And you'll simply have to be stronger than that. Right now, she sizes you up and down, it seems as if you lean on this. It makes you some kind of big, scary monster.
It's always nicer to be a monster than just a regular girl.
It's nicer to be alive than to be a dead monster.
It's nicer to be a dead monster than to be a dead girl.
Be that as it may, that's what I'm after, unless you can offer me something more. I will give you an opportunity to fight alongside your compatriots, and I will even help. I will join your cause. If it extends past a night, well, that's cumbersome. While negotiable, it's cumbersome. But you see, I have a direct line in with magic We've compromised. We've come to an agreement. I haggled with a dragon once, and I walked away the victor. So you tell me. I'll sit down. I have all the time in the world. For I do not fear vampires or goblins. Neither does Charlie. He's in my protection. If he dies, who will make me food? Or tea?
What if I offered to be your new Charlie instead?
Oh, you couldn't be. You're not that charismatic.
That's fair. He's interesting.
That he is, and this is why I've kept him on board for so long.
Then what can I offer, if not protection, and if not wealth?
What is wealth, boy? Girl, excuse me. Whatever you are anymore. You are a woman, but you've taken something male. I can't quite tell what it is. What did you take? Do you know what it is? That's something I don't know.
What did I take?
Out of game. She's asking, what demon did you consume?
I don't know if you ever gave me the name. I know it was a Hezru, but I don't remember the name of it.
That's exactly what it is. It's a Hezru. It's a Hezru demon.
Oh, yeah, I just don't know if he had a title, is what I was implying.
He did, in fact, have a name. It's tucked away in the book.
Yeah,
but it's only going to be important to other demons.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was mentioned, and I think we might have taken down notes about it, but not 100% certain myself.
Lost in the 160 sessions.
Do you tell her it's a Hezru?
Yeah. It was a Hezru that I had consumed.
Well, was he willing?
Not quite.
Well, that's not fair. I see how you play now. You just take. And you never give. That explains why the boy was looking at you so funnily.
The boy?
Yes, the child with the sword and the naivety that hangs about him.
No, that's because he's naive and doesn't understand what is worth sacrificing for power and what is worth sacrificing for nothing.
That's fair. Most men don't actually know that either. It's not just him. There's something else on you. I can smell it. I don't quite know what it is yet. It's nasty, though.
Yeah, I'm not the holiest light in this town.
When you say that, her eyes look up to you. Yes, there is something I want.
What could that be?
They never quite leave you, and she never blinks. They start to turn nebulous, like pools of oil shining in the sun. They coalesce over the top of you. They watch closely. I see what you've seen. I am what you are. I can feel. Bring it to me. Bring me the shackled idol. When she blinks for the first time, the image hits you.
I know what it is. I don't know where it is at the moment, but I'm sure I can get it for you.
Do you actually not know where it is, or are you
I don't know where. I know that it was on Ulhime, but I don't know where he put it.
Ulhime actually put it in the basement with the rest of the things that you guys couldn't carry. He thought it was a safe place, and more or less everybody has a pretty good idea of where it is, because he's gone down several times up to this point. And with Cort the way that he is, that ship has sank because he's got mighty loose lips.
I feel attacked that you would even say such a thing.
Bring that back to me. You'll get to keep whatever this is, this Hezru that you speak of. That's fine. But that's a trade that I'd like. It would make me quite happy. And I'll help you in your war. But when I get tired, I will stop.
But Ulhime will not be happy about that.
Well, I'm sure that's his problem, not yours.
Fair.
Don't trust fables.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn that.
She turns
Maybe too late.
and walks back to the gold. Just a lady looking out for another lady. Don't trust her. She lays back down. You see her seemingly sort of like flay her body out across the gold, much like a cat would across like clean carpet.
I'm gonna take off up the stairs again.
Okay. And I figured as such. In this time that you had this conversation with her, you made this agreement, is when you would probably reassign to the top. It's in about the same time that we saw Torrent speaking with Jakob. Back out to surface. We have Cort. We have Ulhime. Running as fast as they possibly can. Cort is faster than Ulhime. Dwarven legs, that'll do that. Are you being quiet about this, or are you trying to alert people?
As every guard that I'm passing, I'm telling them, find the Blue Duke, tell them that there's an invasion coming, and then I'm still like running, and then it would be tell the Blue Duke, prepare the guard, there's an attack upon the city, and just those phrases, and I'm running.
Okay. Tell the Blue Duke, prepare the Blue Duke. I got you. All right, I'm going to give a perception check to Rahk. Things have quieted down exceptionally at the tavern. You still remain slowly enjoying your food. I'd like to get a perception check from you, Rahk.
Okay.
They're not exactly being quiet about it.
32.
And when you put a ton of points into it, you're bound to hear everything. It's late, but you hear yelling from outside. It's not very clear, mind you, because there's a wall that separates you. Probably a span of 30 or 40 feet. But you hear yelling. Immediately you see Griffin and his son Elliot panic. Elliot runs to the back. Griffin looks to everyone else. Not many people here. What do you do, Rahk?
I'm gonna hop up out of my chair and go investigate what this noise is.
You're very quick by nature. You're actually startlingly fast. You make it to the door, and by the time you see the door, the boy that walked you to this destination, and at least pointed you here, is now running. When you peer down the street, about 20 or so feet in front of him, is a very bizarre image. You're not really sure what to make. It looks like a dwarf, for all intents and purposes. However, the right arm shine like it's in plate. The central body, while it's covered in armor, doesn't seem to match with the right arm. The left arm, whatever it is, either or, when it swings back behind, you see that it's mostly made of bone or sticks. You can't really make much out of it. And 2 sets of light just seems to roll from his eyes, like small flashlights. Rahk, do you take after? Do you immediately charge? You overhear him saying, "Alert the guard, we're under attack. Tell the Blue Duke." He's yelling out. He's being as loud as possible to alert people.
Yeah, I'm going to fall in line with Cort since he's a semi-familiar face and draw my weapon. What exactly is coming? Do you know?
Well, there. Did I tell you about the vampires?
The vampires?
Lots of them, actually. They're attacking right now, apparently. Ulhime, where are they?
Not focusing on that right now. Trying to figure out. I'm trying to get everyone alerted at this point. So if he's ahead of me, then yeah, I guess I probably would. I'll just quickly stop. They have to be around here, or they're somewhere close by. But just get everyone ready. Cort, go to the orc encampment. Tell the Blue Duke to prepare his troops with whatever they have. Hurry, go! And he kind of like pushes them, like go, and then he continues on running.
He'll try to grab Rahk, kind of like by the shoulders, like come on, and then start booking it towards the camp.
Do you follow, Rahk?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
You make haste. I'm sure you can ask questions along the way. Not really sure what else he's going to give you, but you can likely ask questions along the way. Thelsa. There's an awkward silence that seems to hang over the town. You feel the anxiety begin to well up within you. Not a fear, but something is about to happen. There's no sounds of wolves howling. There's no sounds of owls calling out. There's not even insects that chirp through the town. You're waiting for the snap, the explosive point. When you arrive at the bathhouse, the fire seems to be dwindling. And as you pass by the fire to move downstairs, the door is open. The helmet has been knocked over, and Jakob is nowhere near. Do you run downstairs?
Yep, I would kind of look around for the butterfly, assuming someone's knocked it over. But yeah, then not seeing it, I would head downstairs.
When you charge downstairs, you begin to immediately look for the room that you know that Ulhime favored. It'll take you a few moments, but the sight that you come upon is a little more startling than you had presumed. The belongings have mostly been kicked over, and there's a figure that lie there. It looks like Jakob. Looks like Jakob. But something's happened to his arms. You notice that Jakob has 2 more arms. From his frontal torso, there are 2 smaller arms. They appear to look like 4-fingered, no thumb, just like 4-fingered human arms. And his predominant arms, the one that you're used to seeing, are a bit larger. And at the end, they've shifted into scissor tips. It looks more akin to an actual demon. In his hand, he appears to be clutching a weapon that was favored by Klaus. You'd always seen him with it. But it's not the same weapon. The staff itself, where it was once white, almost alabaster in color with an eye that stared out in all directions, it now seems to be more colored to ash. Not quite dark black, but this smokiness. And as it rises to the top, the staff split, and there appears to be the top half of what now looks like Jakob's new hand. It seems to be a bit longer, mind you. It looks a little strange, but for all intents and purposes, you would think that it functions as a scythe. Do you reach down to touch Jakob to alert him at all?
I'd probably just kick him. Just like nudge him with my foot, not full force kick.
When you nudge
I was
him with
about
your
to be
foot,
like, man, such a bitch.
when you nudge him with your foot to kind of jar him awake, the eye on the staff rotates and focuses on you. And it matches Jakob's eye. And that nudge jars him awake. You hear Jakob. At the end of your feet, standing above you, is Thelsa. You feel the staff in your hands, known as Alakast. Jakob, do you do anything?
Okay.
Do you say anything?
Well, after getting my bearings and kind of swinging my eye onto Thelsa, I'll start looking around and kind of rolling to my feet.
You roll to your
How
feet.
long was I out?
And you never quite let go of the weapon, but as you roll to your feet, you still feel your palms touch the cold, dwarven-cut stone. You don't even think anything of it. He says, how long was I out? Do you say anything to him? Do you respond at all?
How am I supposed to know when you woke up? I'm glad to see you're out. You look a bit different. But no time. The goblins are attacking. You must get outside. I'll be out there in a minute.
So they're goblins. That's what he meant.
What who meant?
Well, how else do you think I turned from a butterfly? Who else has designs on me being me?
Right. Okay. Well, don't kill any more civvies. But kill the goblins.
Gladly. Though, first things first, I do need to go back to the I do need to go back to the guard tower and at least get my possessions.
I don't know if that's feasible. I don't know when they're going to be attacking, but they're upon us. It's going to be a war.
From what I know, it's going to be soon, and to make matters worse, we're going to be doing so without a Klaus.
Yes. He's dead.
As in, very dead. Permanently.
She doesn't seem shocked by this. And then it dawns on you that your father did say, one of you heard. I heard it go out. I'm not sure who got it. But someone was told that the last of the flurry die here. Long live the flurry.
Jakob. He was linked with them. So.
It wasn't Jakob.
No, it was actually
he was linked to Thelsa.
It was Thelsa. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, okay, why did you say my name? You trying to tell me something?
It's all your fault.
What's my name doing in your mouth? But yeah, using the walking staff, using the staff as kind of a walking stick, he'll start for the door and kind of, start for the large entryway that is bereft of a door.
Yep.
Yes, because it needs to go ahead and be pointed out every time. But on coming to the edge, he will pause and look back towards Thelsa. Did anyone think to grab the mask?
I still have it on me. I'm just going to throw it over at him.
Okay. We never rolled for that, did we? To determine what you're actually going to become.
Nope.
No, we did not.
Okay.
No, we did not, but I need something to...
Come on, hideous baboon creature.
Sure.
I just need something to go ahead and get me to...
My categories.
Yeah, something to get me to the guardhouse and hopefully deep enough inside that I can grab my shit. But yeah, catching up the mask, I'll kind of notice that instead of like just catching it up, I'm kind of crab clawing it, and it's going to be a moment of... Oh, no. No.
Roll me a D60.
Oh boy.
Yeah, nothing good is going to come of this. Watch me turn into like a rabbit.
Nothing bad can come from this. I don't know what you're talking about.
You turn into the
Will
East
turned into a
Bunny.
frog person. Like, come on. Only
20.
good can come of this.
Let's find out.
Can I also roll mine afterwards? Because I don't know if
Come
Thelsa's
on,
going to live
monkey
through this fight.
Maybe.
Well, it'll really depend on
Then we're gonna have to roll for Will
on what Jacob turns into. If he turns into something like a Glabrizu, he's not going to wear the mask.
What? You're not gonna walk around like that?
Who'da thunk it?
Let's see what the issue could be.
Okay. I've got you.
Turns you into a beholder. Ronald fucking jumps through.
The first thing that you immediately begin to see as your smaller arms seem to curl up into your body. Your skin begins to turn, at first pale, thin to the point of appearing delicate. Your body seems to almost lose natural girth. You seem very skinny. You could easily pass for a human if it weren't for the fact that you have complex blue markings that swirl across your skin, revealing what appears to be some sort of elemental ancestry.
You're a djinn.
Your hair begins to move, almost as if a breeze is flowing through it.
I feel like I got gypped now being a monkey.
You don't really get to see much of your hair, mind you can just feel it moving.
So long as I don't... No, he's not even going to stop. He's going to turn to Thelsa and go, do I look like a supremely evil creature that you should kill on sight?
Just leave.
Oh man. Wow. I'm gonna send this the image over to Innie, since Innie's the one saying it.
Man, now I'm curious.
Well, we'll get a glimpse of that.
Yeah, just
Alive or
rude
dead.
as fuck.
Just go.
I'm gonna catch on my leave as I'm saying it and looking up at, because I didn't realize what I was looking at till just now. Just leave. You look fine.
Is that sketch at all?
Why don't I trust her? He's just gonna think that in the back of his mind. This is probably gonna be bad, but never mind. Goblin,
Thelsa would never
problem.
lie.
Okay.
And yeah, with that he'll turn around, about face, and start marching towards the guard tower.
For what it's worth, you do have access to your spells. They're not your spells, however. They're Thelsa's.
Yay.
You have access to all of Thelsa's spells. Not her supernatural abilities, mind you, just her spells.
Yeah, no bloodline ones. I've got them pulled up.
That being said, Thelsa, you can see it. It's placed inside of a bag. Do you take the object?
Yep, I'm gonna grab the bag and I'm gonna run out of there.
Okay. You run. You make haste. You do as you've promised. You return with the item, and she changes you. She changes you into the form that you had stolen from another. You become a Hezru beast. Female, mind you, but your flesh now becomes scaly and armored. It's very, very moist. You have this enormous, large, toothy maw. Above that, incredibly large reptilian eyes that pan the horizon. Because you've changed, you'll be operating as this. You can take that and use that accordingly. Okay? And
I think me and chat all want to see these.
What, the Hezru?
Dude, it's huge. Good old Hebrew demons. Very kosher. Very kosher.
A Hezru is... yeah, he's a real nasty.
Yeah, they get their power from the yarmulkes.
Yeah, that's not true at all. Just to be clear, it's definitely not from yarmulkes. Hezrus are known as the greater toad demons. You guys actually encountered one that was a bit more attuned to Occipitus, but there are a few that still kind of bleed through onto your world. Let me see if I can get an image.
Are we talking Toad like from Mario?
No, sir.
He's a...
There we go. This is what it looks like.
Is this what he becomes, or he just looks like this now?
Muted, by the way, Austin.
That's what she becomes. She becomes this for the night.
There we go, now we can unmute. It's for the best that I was.
She looks like a street shark.
Until sunrise.
Oh, joy. And yeah, that's not going to cause problems.
No, it never does.
Hopefully she's at least still able to communicate.
Oh god, we're under attack. Oh god, look, giant demon.
It's fine. As long as that thing is eating the small, horrible things, it's fine.
Quick, Rahk, stab it with your sword.
Rahk's going to step outside, see that giant thing, even thrashing amongst the mountains. It's going to be like, that fucker gotta die!
It's fine. I've got 100-foot telepathy. It's fine.
It's at this point that
Jesus.
I just like to think that Rahk stumbles outside of the war camp of the half-orcs and he's like, no, to the hell no, no. And he just fucking walks out, to the next town.
He looks up, does that slow nod, he's all, wrong profession.
Traveling bard it is.
On second thought, let's not go to Camelot. 'Tis a silly place.
This is why I got my associate's degree. You just leave.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's move now to... yeah, let's go to Ulhime and Cort.
Alrighty. Cort and Rahk, because we split. He's going to the guardhouse.
Oh, forgive me. Cort and Rahk. Alright, got it. Since Rahk doesn't know exactly how to get there, it's going to be up to you to lead him.
Yep.
You charge directly into the half-orc encampment.
Yep, this can't go bad.
Not at all. Not at all.
Drawn. Charging into their encampment.
Luckily,
they would never greet a giant man with a huge sword, you know, with arms out. That would be crazy.
Luckily, you're in the company of a half-orc.
That's good.
If you were charging through the city into the middle of a half-orc encampment with your weapon drawn, it's gonna send a couple red flags.
I haven't drawn my weapon yet.
This man has lost his mind.
Death by cop.
I charge in, sword like this, ready to stab. Just, I need to see the Duke.
It's oh my god! It's the red dragon from Tropic Thunder. They do not fear death. Okay. You charge into the encampment. Have you ever been to his tent? I don't think you have.
No, I have not.
It doesn't take very long before you're immediately met by half-orcs.
Yeah.
Mostly in a very unwelcoming manner.
Excuse me, where's the blue Duke? Blue dork? Where's the blue Duke?
Where's the blue Duke at?
Where? We need to see the blue Duke.
Nah, which way did he go, George? Which way did the dork go?
I see no dork, George. Where's the dork?
Perfect. Rahk, they immediately begin speaking in half-orc. They're talking about just clubbing him and putting him behind a tent.
I'm going to reply in Orcish. Please don't do that. He may seem crazy, and frankly, he may be crazy, but he's right in this case. We need to see the Blue Duke.
Give me a diplomacy.
Right.
They've never seen you before.
Yeah, no, they have not. 12.
Okay. It's not great. One of them, the bigger of the three, lips furl up. But why?
He said something about a lot of vampires.
He looks around. I don't see any vampires.
Can you see outside the city walls?
Why do you speak like that? You can see kind of where this is going immediately.
Racism.
We don't have time for my origin story.
Another one chimes in. Listen to the way that he talks. Look at him.
I'm gonna fly into a rage.
Jesus Christ. Okay. You apparently do. Apparently, internal systemic racism is enough for Rahk to fly into a rage. What? Do not oppress me!
Turns out Rahk is very progressive and very woke.
Very anti-establishment. I'm gonna throw an intimidate check at him.
You rolled a 4!
I got a 26, so
4.
fuck off.
When you immediately begin to rage, and I'm guessing that you kind of like, you draw a weapon at this point, or do you just like flex on him? Like, what does this look like?
Fucking
Oh, no, I had my weapon drawn. It's just like...
Jeez. Holy brother! It's fucking going hard over here. Yeah, you flex on out, man. You've got this weapon drawn, and you are petrifying. Cort probably looks on, and
with so much intimidate.
you can see that the armor on his body, while it's not much, mind you, just immediately begin to ripple from his muscles cording out.
Please tell me he says, "Can you smell what the rock is cooking?"
Metal armor should not ripple. Yeah,
Bone saw's ready.
fucking flexing out over here. You stand immediately toe to toe with this guy. You don't quite tower over him, but you dwarf him just in sheer mass. And in a moment of primal instinct, he lowers his eyes.
He's a bitch.
And he points behind him. He points to a tent. The others follow in step immediately, and they kind of part way. They go full on Red Sea at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of push past them and shoulder through.
Cort's gonna just kind of meekly follow behind, very concerned.
Thank you, Chimera. It's like he's reading my...
Bonesaw is the cream of the crop. Oh yeah, the cream always rises to the top.
Rahk flies into a rage, and from somewhere, you don't really know where, you just hear, "From parts unknown!"
Perfect. You immediately charge into the tent of the sleeping war captain. The Blue Duke. A half-orc of like which you haven't quite seen before. You've never seen one with blue skin. It's a little strange to you, but hey, racism ain't your bag, clearly. Who are you to judge?
Still pumped. Listen, brother, you gotta wake up. Oh yeah.
God. Okay.
If you keep this up, I'm going to demand he does the voice the entire time he plays Rock.
I mean,
his voice switches to.
My throat might hate me, but I could do it. not opposed to it.
Oh, perfect. So, yeah, you charge in. Both of you are there, actually. And you are in the tent. It's dark, but he's sleeping. You can hear him sleeping in his cot. There are no lights burning, nothing here. You get a smell of some food that may have gone bad in the time, or some garbage may have not been taken out, but it's a private tent. Wasn't exactly expecting company.
No guards inside the tent?
No guards inside the tent. Just him.
Cort's gonna look towards Rahk to wake him up.
Upon entering the tent, like stepping 1 foot into it, I'm just gonna start screaming again. Are you the one that called the Blue Duke?
You hear this fucking rises. You see something huck out to your feet as he flips his body over. And as he stands, his body begins to contort and twist before you, and he visibly begins to rise in stature.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Half orc, no more. What stands before you is something wholly different. And he doesn't even realize it. The figure that stands before you is an Oni mage. If you haven't seen it before, which I think I've expressed to you guys several times over, he looks akin to what you might see as a half-orc if their skin was blue. And it was more akin to an ogre in sheer size. His horns that seem to kind of jut up away from his upper like brow. His teeth distend out even further. And as strong as Rahk actually looks, this man's body is scarred many times over, but the muscle is very apparent. Survival is something that has been a tangent point of reliance for him. To rise to the top of this situation, to command this many orc, it's been hard. Let me see if I can get a picture here for anybody that is interested in seeing it. It's a small picture, mind you, but it's better than nothing. Fuck it, I'll take this, and I'll actually have to put it on stream, because unfortunately it's a million sizes too big. There you go. That's sort of what he looks like. The big chungus? Yeah, definitely.
Oh god.
Dude's an absolute unit.
Yeah, you could say that. Needless to say, he doesn't say anything at first. He just sees you charged in. You ask if he's the Blue Duke, and he stands immediately. Probably a little befuddled by his own snort as he chortles awake. And when he sees you, still in this rage moment, clutching onto your weapon, he looks around for his weapon. Cort's not donning a weapon at this point, right?
Cort's gonna put himself like a little bit in front of Rahk. Excuse me, Mr. Duke, sir, there's an emergency.
He's still looking around for his weapon. He goes, "What's wrong? What's happening?"
Ulhime told you about the vampires, right?
When you say Ulhime and the vampires, he blinks several times over before he looks down. Yes.
They're
yes,
attacking.
he did. And then his eyes train back down before looking up at you again. And he realizes you see his hand come up and clutch at the nape of his neck. And he feels that the amulet is missing from his breast. He looks to each of you. Rahk. Oh, damn. Damn, this is hard, actually. This is a difficult decision.
Pulls out his warhammer, slams it down on his face.
No, he
Slam his head into his desk.
He might.
Just go ahead and actually embrace the flurry of bros mentality. Do whatever seems cool. We don't look at right or wrong. We think, man, this would be cool.
He leans down before you, Cort, grabbing at the amulet on the ground, and on his way up with his other hand, his fingers clasp at the front of your chest piece. And when he clutches down, he picks you up off of the ground.
Oh my.
Literally, like your body just descends from the ground. There's no sweat, nothing that stops him in this case.
Oh, very
and he
tiny.
pulls you close to his face.
Speak of this to no one.
Ulhime's been running through the town screaming about it.
He points to himself.
Speak of this to no one.
Oh. And he's just gonna slowly nod.
He releases you, drops you back down 3 or so feet. He points to you, Rahk.
If anyone finds out, I'll know that he said something. And then I'll come for you next.
I'll be sure to wire his jaw shut myself.
Yeah, the sad part is the fact that they're making a deal out of it is probably what's going to end up biting them in the ass.
Well, see, this is the first time someone's told Cort not to talk about something.
Very clearly, not like vaguely, but very
like,
clearly.
Oh, this is a bad thing that we partake in. We should keep this on the hush-hush, if you know what I mean. He's just like, I swear to God, if you tell someone, you're dead. No one has said that straight up.
He replaces the amulet back on its choker chain and in its cage, and you see his body shrink down, roughly the same size as Rahk.
Given the threats that he has just issued, I'm going to exit my rage and cower a little bit. Just a little bit.
You know what? I'm curious, actually. You're fairly well learned up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have knowledge history?
I do not. I have a knowledge nature, but that's the only knowledge that I have trained.
I'm gonna give you a circumstantial bonus. Give me a history anyway, and I'm gonna likely gonna add 4 to it. Let's see what you can get here.
14.
I set the DC at 16. You may not know exactly what he is, but you've heard tale of creatures that have skin that is this kind of blue, like ocean blue, that is capable of shifting and changing shape. That while spellcasters happen to have magic about them if they are born with it or if they spend their life studying it, that these shape changers are cursed with magic. They don't want it, but it's a curse upon them and their family. They're seldom born, and they're often killed, but if they don't, they rise to points of power. This very well might be that, as far as you can recollect. If you would have rolled a little higher, I might have been able to give you more, even a name of what it actually is.
Understood.
So now that he's dropped you, Cort, do you say anything specifically to him? Greater details or anything other than, the vampires are attacking?
Ulhime hasn't told us where. But they're apparently attacking. That's the only information Cort knows.
Okay.
Cort's like an NPC who gets ran out of dialogue after 2 choices. I'm just gonna sit there and stare at him until he leaves the tent.
You should open up his charisma a little bit more. Give him some more speaking options.
Like I've invested too many points in slamming my sword into things. My time will come in about 10 minutes.
That's fair. That's fair. Then last but not least, before the Great Descent, Ulhime.
Yo.
Ulhime. You're charging in the destination of the guardhouse to see the one and only Jared Skellering. Potentially, Kiana Green.
Yes.
You're still alerting the guards as they pass you by. You're still letting everyone know what's happening, causing panic and grief.
I'm not yelling at the people. I'm running to the guards directly. So I'm not, like, just going to a random person going,
Sure, no. But you were yelling at the guards as you passed by.
Yeah.
Oh God, run! The vampires are killing
People
us.
still live in these houses. Even
Correct.
if you've lost like 25 to 30% of the population, people still live in those houses. They're gonna hear, get fucking ready, there's vampires! Like, they're gonna hear that shit, right? Like, especially when they come outside and see you, you got like one fucking Skeletor arm.
It's not a normal thing to hear past curfew, usually. To just hear someone screaming that the vampires are coming, Hear the tolls ringing in the background.
You finally reach the point of the guardhouse.
Yes.
There are no guards at the door.
Okay.
Give me a perception. Ulhime.
R21.
At the last moment, before you break into the door, your eye catches something out of your peripheral. Give me a reflex. That's good. You reflexively bat something away as it descends upon you. It's the darkness. You can see in the darkness just fine. But what you saw was this sort of mlem in the shadows. Something that seemed to twist or bend the light differently so. It was faint, but you just happened to see it. As your arm connects with two invisible creatures. It's your primary arm, which is...
left hand? Yeah.
Correct. And this is the holy arm, correct?
Correct.
When you connect with them, you drop them to the ground immediately, and they are sent spiraling. You can see the dust kick up after them. They turn, and they look directly at you, and you can see that there are two yellow eyes from both of them. Very low to the ground. You would almost guess a serpent. Before you feel something snap into your leg, something hit your back immediately, and then another grasp at your upper right shoulder. Just above the shoulder piece.
There's like 3 of them on me.
And 2 of them near you. They're small, but they move very, very quickly.
So as they latch onto me, and those 2 that are still pretty close that I just knocked to the floor, I'll yell out, "Back, vermin!" And then I'll cast Channel Positive Energy to deal damage to undead.
How much?
23.
23, very good. As you...
They need to make a will save.
Gotcha.
Unless they're like Lobi and they can't really
They can make will saves.
Okay.
They have to break an 18?
Correct.
Okay.
For half damage.
Sure. Okay. Even. It's odd. They all take 23. And at this point, when you channel this positive light, as it erupts from your body, take half of that damage.
Oh. I see what you did there. Sneaky boy, aren't you? A little sneaky.
As you take half of that damage, you feel it radiate up your opposite arm. It seems to almost vibrate with pain. It sends the vibration into basically your core. And that vomiting feeling returns. Give me a fortitude save. Even rolling a 2, you are still capable of succeeding. You will likely never suffer the effects unless it's been enhanced for some reason. You manage to swallow down that disgust, that nausea. But as this emits from your body, this light, it snaps into the area, this almost sunlight-like effect. Divine energy pours out from you. You take half of the damage. They take full 23 points of damage, singes their flesh, and they are invisible no more. You see the outline burns over their bodies. Husks like shadow creatures. The only thing that remain clear, their teeth, their claws, and their eyes. And as much damage as they just took, they charge right back in. What is your AC?
26.
Okay. I gotta give him a bonus for each one getting to you, so... Okay. Bear in mind, this is just sheer numbers. Don't be appalled when you see, like, big numbers just because. I'm still probably gonna roll low. You said it was 26?
Correct.
One of them for sure hits you. Another just hits your AC, even or odd in your favor.
Even?
Odd. 2 of them hit you. Alright. Hell yeah. I wasn't actually expecting to hit you, but strength in numbers. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's been added in. Perfect. And you're not susceptible to sickness anymore, correct?
Correct. Unless you're cool with that, can I be a lich vampire? Or something?
Get the fuck out of here! You're ridiculous.
Nephilim lich vampire, bro. We gonna add all the templates today?
Jesus fucking Christ, Ron. Gonna add werewolf on top of that as well.
And half demon. Because why
That's
not?
what I'm saying. Like, I was like, oh, well, what am I? Nephilim lich vampire day.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Do you have damage reduction?
10.
To what?
It has to be bludgeoning and magic.
Okay. All right.
So they have to hit me, with that combination in order to bypass.
All right, then I have to separate this. You're not going to take anything from that. Here we go. You might take something from this.
Nothing.
Nothing. You take nothing from them.
They bite into me, and I'm just like...
You take nothing.
Lich bitches! Pump!
You take nothing. Do you do anything back to them?
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking radiate more light onto their face.
Okay, go for it.
It's gonna be damage 19.
Okay. Even with them taking half, it's going to be enough.
Okay.
They're resilient, but the moment you channel a second time, they immediately dust. You see the skin ripple back over their bodies, the muscles seem to catch fire, and the bones dust outward as they fall to the ground. There's nothing left. No proof whatsoever. Wherever they bit down, your flesh retained its shape. There are no indents, no marks, no nothing. You have no proof of even being attacked. The wind blows and carries their ashes off.
I will enter the guardhouse.
You enter the guardhouse. No guards at the desk.
Master Skillerang's area.
You go to his room. When you charge into his room, the door is open. The fire burns. The desk has been upturned, shoved against the wall. The chair has been split, and his favored sword is bent in half. Skillerang is missing.
Shit, okay. So, since everyone's gone, there's a discarded weapon, long sword, whatever they got. I'm gonna pick it up, and that's gonna be my weapon for now.
Okay. And in this moment, with that, I think we're going to hold off the big fight until next week, where we're going to glide right in. We're not going to do recap. We're going to sit down and have a long backseat battle.
Out of curiosity, would you say that Jakob managed to make it to the guardhouse and find his gear in lockup? Successfully?
You... Let's see. I gotta give you a 10% chance. I have to at least give you a 10% chance.
Just 10% chance to go ahead and find something he knows is locked in there?
There's a reason.
Let Ronald roll for it. Don't let Sniper roll for it.
Choose a 10% range.
10% range? 35 to 45.
Negative. When you finally arrive, you will see that Jared Skillerang's room, per se, his office, has been upturned. There is no one there. Desk is destroyed, chair is destroyed, paper is scattered across the room, fire burns wildly, sword is bent. When you make it back to where they store the personal belongings, the door has been torn off its hinges. All of the spare equipment is gone.
Oh, son of a bitch!
All of the people that were arrested are also missing.
So the whole place, it's like Resident Evil, it's like Resident Evil police station. When I get in there, it's deserted.
It's completely deserted.
Man, everything's gone, including my gear. So now I'm stuck with whatever leftovers Klaus had.
Probably.
There's a realistic moment, briefly, if at all briefly. Ulhime, you hear someone charging into the building.
Did you say if I found a weapon or not? No, right?
No.
Just the bent sword.
Just the bent sword.
Yeah, I would go see what the noise is, assuming it's more vamps.
When you turn and look out, a figure with light blue skin. Very, very thin. They have blue swirls, almost like tornado-like patterns. The hair is silver and seems to blow in a breeze that is almost non-existent. Their eyes are also sky blue. Very beautiful. Far from the person beneath it. Jacob, you see Ulhime. His head is peering out the door. His dominant hand on the door frame.
And I can't remember if he's a righty or lefty.
Left. You know he's a left. He's always favored his left-hand side.
Well, no, I'm saying I can't remember. Yes, Jacob would know.
Oh, yeah, left-handed. But yeah, as that happens, I'll take another step out, trying to see who that person is.
You see them?
Yeah, he'll yell up to Ulhime. Where are all the guards?
Oh my god, the White Lake District.
They're gone. Who are you?
Ulhime, give me a wisdom. Jacob? Were you going to do anything?
Well, I mean, you kind of broke in there. As far as what he was going to do, he'd probably pause and go, I can't say right now.
Wait.
All right, then.
Ulhime, what did you ask?
Who are you?
I can't say right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Jacob, do you disguise your voice?
No.
Would you even have the forethought to disguise your voice?
No forethought on that.
Okay.
He just doesn't want to yell his name out loud in the middle of the guard, of the guard tower.
Ulhime.
Or the grounds.
Give me another wisdom.
22.
You definitely recognize it this time. The more he spoke, the more you realized that it's Jacob. You can't misplace that voice anywhere.
Jacob. And he kind of runs toward him. What? And then as he puts his his right hand up to kind of touch his face, he looks back and kind of pulls it back.
Jacob, it is now that you see this almost porous skeletal arm that hangs from his body. Not quite like when he was regrowing, like his jaw. You could see this very natural bone. This looks off, to say the least.
Knowledge Arcana to see if it's something I would know about, or do we want to just assume this is something in the, faith-based realm that is just fuck it, not science-wise?
It depends on if you would even think it's very relevant or important. What you can recall is that your father did say something about Ulhime committing to a cause with a demon or a devil.
Do I think it would be important that my friend, who claims he's a god, is now shown up with what looks like a completely separate limb? Yeah, that'd be a little important. He'd be a little curious about that, especially considering his father just said, he just made a deal with a demon.
Didn't make a deal.
Yeah, well, you didn't make a deal.
That's the Torrent's not Regis Philbin. Okay, let's make a deal.
Made a bargain, okay?
The case number 29.
But yeah, as he pulls back, spent some time in Occipitus, but that's not important right now. They're here.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be kind of side-eyeing the arm as he nods agreement. Vampire, goblins, right, I heard.
Yeah.
Keep a running total of your hit points, Ulhime, because you don't experience pain similarly so, and most of it is seen on your body. You'll have to explain to the others what you actually look like, since you don't feel pain.
Taking from the first few hits, it was like score marks kind of showing up on the body. Since I'm wearing the Dwarven full plate now, it's under.
Okay.
So the actual armor isn't showing anything, but if Jacob was there, he would see like steam protruding off of him at the time, or at least off the side of where the skeletal arm was.
Ulhime, it's important to note that he is also carrying a weapon. It looks akin to Alakast. That used to be Klaus's. However, now it appears to be some sort of ash-colored staff with a demonic eye peering outward and a scissor top that looks akin to a scythe.
I've seen that. Is that Alakast? What happened to it?
Search me. It's whatever stick old man Winter used to go ahead and tote around.
Jacob, you get this supernatural feeling about you at this point. You feel your left eye, begin to turn. As you focus, you can see that the eye on the staff also begins to spin and reflect your own. It pulls your body to whip around. Something is moving. It twists the air around you, but you can't quite see what it is. Give me a reflex.
Oh! 19.
Ulhime, you see him spin without warning, and as he turns, his hand outstretches and grabs something mid-air. It's reflexive for him, not really sure why, but as he grabs, his hand clenches closed, and it separates a head from the body of a goblin.
As he does that, like, surprised that he first off had the instinct to just turn and grab something like that, but as a second that he cuts the head off, Ulhime will grab the head of the goblin and he'll channel with his gauntlet the positive energy onto the head just to incinerate it.
When you glance back up after incinerating the head with the energy, you look up to him and his fingers are fused together, if for only briefly. And as that moment passes, they separate. Their blade tip seems to disappear from vision.
Father's work.
The one and only, I think. I'm not entirely sure. This is... Actually, it might not be. And he'll kind of eye the staff, and then stop and look back to Ulhime. It went back, right?
Yes.
Because I'm just picturing his eye, his eyeball just like snapping left on its own. Oh my god! It's stuck! It's stuck!
But yeah, he'll give him a nod. And then he'll lift up his skeletal hand. Apparently your father's friend is still around. The worm that walks.
Oh. That nasty bastard.
Perceptions, please, from everyone.
$41.
41, 32, 18, 16.
Good.
I can see everyone in the city.
Why are we missing...
I climb the nearest belfry and I spot everything.
Thelsa's.
Gosh darn.
Because I'm operating off of a page and not my character sheet.
Gotcha, that's fine.
Yikes.
Even critically failing. You can't technically critically fail a skill. You can just do worse than other times. Because you also can't critically succeed a skill. You can just do better at times. Courtesy of you investing heaps of points into it, you're able to see what it is. We're going to go first with Cort, Jakob, and Thelsa. Ulhime and Rahk, you do not see this, or you will see this, but you're going to see something else additionally. So Cort, Jakob, and Thelsa. Thelsa, you were already aware of this. There's a flash across the sky. The night is ruptured by a split-second form of light. A dragon. A colossal red dragon.
Oh boy.
Splitting open the berth of its wings, erupts from a building. Ulhime, Rahk.
Yeah.
What you two see. The light didn't come from the dragon. In the distance, you hear a menacing howl. Oh! Lightning snaps. And this is where we'll end the session.
Fuck you.
It's gonna get
There are so many lore bits I need to go over for this session. I'm still trying to figure out what that blue-eyed beast is that needs the tooth, the nail, and the eye.
It's like right there in front of you, my dude.
Yeah, we'll let you figure it out.
We got me and Jakob partnered up once again, taking on the world, taking on the scourges of the undead.
Me and Will are taking down the government.
I'm a toad.
We're fucking heading for those systemic issues, man.
I'm waiting at this point.
Crossbows made of rock salt.
It's at this point that we see that somehow Rahk, Thelsa, and Cort dies. It's Ulhime and Jakob to rename the city, and Ulhime's like, I've got it. They'll never see it coming. We name it Raccoon City. And you have to open up a business. Something about umbrellas or parasols at least.
Parasol Corporation's way less intimidating.
I got it.
It's Parasol Inc. Okay.
The British
I'm gonna
equivalent. You gotta let it. Look, sometimes
guys.
they have to let it slide.
All these underground networks, it's like a hive, right? And then we go, and I make this cure, and I'm like, it's a good thing.
And those
But
kids
I'm
are like
like a
your nemesis.
virus. It's like a virus, so I call it the G virus.
Yeah. Ulhime's like,
Because I'm a real G.
one of the vampires, they weren't actually so bad. It was this little girl. We kept her.
She got cured. Yeah.
We called her the Red Queen. She was a princess in our heart, but she's a queen to this city. Racks
No one
on
knows
racks,
her, though.
right? Yes, perfect. All right, guys. Yeah, that was the end of today's session. I know that everybody was expecting us to spring right into combat, but we had to put a few more things into place. I just didn't necessarily expect it to take quite that long. However, I'm sticking to what I say, and next week we are not waiting. We're not waiting immediately to jump into this with a recap. However, we might likely wait for Cort to get here. I don't want him to miss the experience, because over the time of the next week, we're going to try to finalize and create a better rule system. At least something that's a bit more functional than what we already know about mass combat, because it's
Rock, paper, scissors.
it's kind of I boot you from my life.
Just take a level off him.
Fucking
It's
feel like it.
now a bad time to tell you that I won't be here next week, so I get night shifts.
God damn it!
Oh,
I very much figured that.
Oh, you know what
Yeah,
though? I
it
mean,
seemed like...
in
He's
your
been here
form,
for like 4 weeks in a row.
in your
Yeah.
form, you're going to be operating as a Hezru demon.
Yeah, like you could do it if you'd want to.
Yeah.
I will be, like on paper.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll have all of your abilities
Oh, he's like a full-on like Hezru demon for like the night.
for the night. Yeah, but
Damn.
while she may be that, she still knows what her allies are and what her enemies
Yeah,
are.
she's not. She's taking on a new form. She's not something else
Yeah.
altogether. That's dope though.
She's not going to be super communicative or directing others into combat. It's just be like, demon got a demon!
Thing is, she's got 100-foot telepathy, so I mean, she can do what she wants, I guess.
Yeah, we're definitely going to wait until at least Red gets back. If for the very least, starting with 3 players is just, I at least want to get us our 4. So the next time we play next week, we'll start at about 9:15, so we can give everybody an opportunity to file in. Or at that point, I'll probably try to be putting down Dead Space, so that'll be like a bit of the pre-show.
Okay. So I'm a Nephilim now. That's crazy. It's crazy.
You have a history of making bad decisions.
That was pretty good, though. That was pretty good. That's pretty dope.
You've changed.
He's like, Bubs is like, hey, you want to be a dwarf? I'm like, yeah, but I want to be a black dwarf. He's like, okay, so we're gonna add Pommet to your template. He's like, that's what we're gonna add. He's like, what else? He's like, what do you like doing? I'm like, oh, I'm a defender. He's like, dang, helm down. I'm like, I guess I'm a god now. Gotta be a lich. He's like, okay, so you're this weird immortal thing. He's like, so undead added to your template.
Okay, so
he's like, what else? He's like half demon. He's like, what else do you want? I'm like, half dragon.
Chimera, there's
vampire.
I need to make a deal with Sasha right after this is over.
There are certainly some things that have happened that have explained this a bit more. He was originally a Pommet, which is a desert dwarf from Osiria, or the Osirian desert at this point. He's moved over, and he favored a deity by the name of Helm. Helm was a defender deity. He protected pretty much everyone under the wing of life. That's what he's known for. The problem was, courtesy of his best friend, can't believe it's his best friend, who's also half demon, the tiefling, Jakob, which is also the son of the demon general, known as the Torrent, which you probably heard the name several times today. They went into a place known as Celestia, the Cathedral of Feathers. They were revisiting. It was like a backpedal, a memory of sorts. But because they went into this memory, it existed in a live space. Because there's some time dilation, there's some distortion in the realms. Because demonic blood entered Celestia, it broke a pact allowing demons to attack Celestia. It collapsed Celestia, or at least this part of Celestia, and the Cathedral of Feathers, into the 507th layer of the Abyss, known as Occipitus.
I do want to point out that my only bad decision there was showing up.
That's it. I mean, that's you're a victim of circumstance in the situation.
That is all I did. I showed the fuck up.
But I want to be very clear with you, in case you haven't picked it up to this point. That entire experience was orchestrated, and you played right into it.
I get that. That everything was geared and designed so that I would go ahead and run into Ulhime, become his friend, feel obligated to join in on this. No, my daddy was a fucking dick. I mean,
wait till it all comes out. When all comes out on the table.
I mean, bad enough he went ahead and left for however long for that pack of smoke.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When it all comes out about your character and the backstory of your character, you may not want me as a DM ever again.
I don't want you as a DM now.
Suck it, because no one else is gonna deal with you.
Exactly.
You should stop calling him daddy. It's true. He probably should. True enough.
Right, we should just refer to him as Nabbykins, or Nabby-kun as they would say.
I swear to God, the next time I see you, I'm gonna fucking slap chop you right in the throat.
Just no words.
Nab's a senpai.
So,
you see?
Push come to shove, he lost his deity. And some things happened which coerced his hand. He was chasing down this demon, known as the Torrent, but it was also in the favor of an angel, known as Nidrama. Nidrama watched him get slain, and she feels like he was slain courtesy of her own actions. So she did what Alicast did, which was her twin brother. Alicast turned himself into a divine weapon, which was given to one of the founding forefathers of Cauldron. Nidrama gave her power to resurrect Ulhime. She became his arms and his life. She was the last living believer in Helm, with him. So because she was a direct tie, a direct protector of Helm, she was the only thing that tethered Helm to the mortal realm. Ulhime is the only person that remembers Helm. And because he channels the divine energy of this particular god, everybody else forgot about him. Nobody knows about it. It's like he was swept from everyone's memories in all of Golarion. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows why. However, some of the deities recognize this. Ulhime's investigating his new powers, and he finds that he can summon himself a tear which leads him to the boneyard, Pharasma's boneyard. And that's when a god, Pharasma, and her voice, a gigantic Linorm, confirms that Helm, to some degree, lives within sight of him. And only him. So then what does he do? He takes the soul of a kid that Jakob killed to teleport him to his divine plane and encouraged an 8-year-old to fight for him against the evils of that world.
Hey, I would do it, but I mean...
So he equipped this kid with a dream and a shard of glass and said, "Good luck, buddy. Suck it up. Rub some dirt on it. You'll be all right."
Good thing you can only die once.
No, when you put it in this kind of perspective, Jakob seems a lot less of an asshole.
Oh, he could put you in the same kind of perspective.
Oh, I could.
What child have I enslaved to servitude for all... No, for all...
Need we remind you who brought that child's soul to the brink of death?
I accidentally killed somebody.
I didn't even charge you with all the guards you killed. You killed guards. The only one that stuck, though, was the kid. Well, his dad was right there, though. So it kind of made a difference.
It was awkward.
Sniper, are you sure this is a good...
I'm just saying that when you compare the things they've actually done, Jakob just seems like a dumbass. Ulhime seems like a big bag evil guy.
Admittedly, in the last I would say 10 or so sessions, Ulhime has been playing outside of his strengths, and he's found that he's not the strongest thing that walks the plains.
Now he's Mare's a beholder, though.
He suffered a blow. He invited some evil unto his body, destroying half of his divinity.
Well, it's been there the whole time. It kind of just reawakened.
No, I mean, that allowed you. That allowed you, but when Nadrama combined with your body, it was gone. And that was just a parasite. That was a parasite of Kias. You actually have invited Kias unto your body. You have his arm.
Like, the literal Kias, not just his parasite.
Correct.
Took the arm off his body.
That I would like to remind everyone that we are all infected with. Well,
I think it's just you.
Thelsa, Jakob.
I'm gonna be
Us
like
three are still infected.
Really?
I'm like, you think you're in hell now?
Yeah. If you'll remember, we were all captured, held taut, and forced to...
Was it Cort? I don't remember it being Cort. I don't think it was Cort. I think that was Sun.
Was it Sun? Because I remember Cort being, joining us in Occipitus towards the end.
No, I think that was Sun.
It was Sun. Sun left after you guys got out of hell.
But yeah, we were intentionally infected because we were restrained, and Ulhime managed to slip out enough to cause a distraction and take care of everything. But yeah, that never came to anything, so I just haven't really mentioned it until now.
So you and Thelsa.
All right, well, thanks so much, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap up some post-show stuff before this gets VODed. It will be on YouTube in 24 hours. It will be immediately VODed by either Christy or Annie tonight, so you guys will be able to see that in the Discord. Check out all the social stuff. Discord's absolutely free. Facebook gets updated daily. The Twitter, it's going to be lots more original stuff there. I'm going to start throwing some things out there, getting myself more out into the void and the ether. Hopefully something will come of it. And YouTube, very soon you'll start seeing original material there as well. Patreon, keep the stream alive, keep the dream alive. That's the way to do it. We are well on our way to some big goals. So let's do it. Let's pull it all together, guys. But that's going to be it for us tonight. That last sub of Anonymous Gift to Rock Coil actually gave you guys the luck reroll.
Hey, all right, quick, everyone,
Which
reroll
doesn't
your
carry
mask.
over to next session.
Correct. Since it was technically 2 hours ago. But we're out of here. I love your faces. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're probably going to do some Dead Space. And next week, combat. Big, bloody, beautiful combat. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace. We're out of here.